So I text you 2 different audios to the Rants line.
I saw
that you'll use today. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Rants of Izzo Monday edition. Come on in, take a seat, sit down, get comfortable. It is Monday, March 6th. I'll tell everyone what this special day is when we get going in a few minutes. Our dear friend Dominick Izzo has lost his voice, everybody.
Something like that.
And so, yeah, it's gonna be wild. The man, the myth, the legend can't talk.
I can try.
No. Why am I like tomato red right now? Come on, man. A little better. I don't know. Okay, let's jump over to the chat. Let me get set up. Oh, don't do this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Here we go. First in the chat, Linda. Hi, lady. And then there's Sarah. Hi, Bev. Bev, I realized on Friday, sometimes I call you Bev, sometimes Beverly. Do you have a preference? Because I flip it. And sometimes I have been known to do that, and then people get upset with me. They're like, that's not my name. So, just let me know. Hi, Brady's 1 Girl 5. Richard Gibson, hello. Steph Cuervo Queen, hello. Amy, oh boy. Amy Yu, who has changed her name to her last name, Amy Yu
Janikowski.
Don't act like that was simple.
I had it last week.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay. I didn't notice. Good.
Can't talk, but I can sure pronounce shit.
Okay, well, fantastic. Greg Man, hello. Tracy, hi. Anthony Stevens.
God.
Yodel. Carbon monoxide, hello. Chris. Hi, Chris. Oh my God, I've been so behind on the live shows. Yeah, Chris, I don't know if I've seen you in our chat before. But welcome. Today, you're in for a special treat. Because I get to talk today. My co-host has no voice.
How do you know?
Why am I so red?
How do you know? Now you're good. How do you know you just didn't disrespect the shit out of Chris? Like he hasn't been like a lifetime listener, and you're like, oh, well, welcome to the show. He must be new.
He is a lifetime listener, but he just hasn't made it into the chat. That's what I'm saying. Right. And now he's in for a treat. Oh my God. Because it's going to be all me all day.
I feel fine, but talking makes me lightheaded.
Okay, well, don't do that.
4 seconds.
You're going to fall out.
Let's do gives a fucking shit.
Okay, let's go. I fucking love this.
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention. This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your hosts, Dominick Izzo and Common Sense Ashley. From porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I don't know when you listen to us, but welcome to the Rants of Izzo Show. I'm your host, Common Sense Ashley. Over there, if you're watching us on the video, that's my dear co-host, Dominick Izzo. And the man has no voice today.
We went through this with you a couple of months ago.
Yeah, you're going to have to really put your mouth up to that mic.
It sucks. When I talk, I get lightheaded. It sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like I have to turn you up in my ears to hear it, but then it like pounds on whatever shit runs up the sides of my ears. And this is going to be, I'm powering fucking through this. This is going to be good.
I know you even like tightened your tie because when you jumped on, you had it loose. And I'm like, what do you even do? Like, why are you even dressed today?
I don't want to look as bad as
As you feel?
No, I see the problem is I feel okay to a degree.
You just can't talk.
Right.
So here's what's going to happen.
Actually,
You're
that's
going
not
to
true.
stress your voice right now like I did, and then it's going to take even longer to bring it back.
Okay.
So, Boo, just nothing from you today.
Got it.
Save it, and then maybe we'll be blessed with your voice tomorrow. But guys, I'm giddy as all get up because today it's my show. It's my show, and I've got so much
Asshole!
Yeah, and he's gonna play with sounds today.
Not really.
That's gonna be how he interrupts me today and my train of thought. This was the text he shared with me this morning. He goes, I have no voice. And I was like, oh my God. And then later on in the day, I go, hold up, time out. I was like super excited to do a solo show, thinking I could have a clear-headed thought without being rudely interrupted for an entire hour. Like I could sound intelligent and intellectual and finish a complete thought without a fart noise or anything, really. Your OCD mannerisms. And then I started to freak out because I thought, oh, I haven't carried a show solo.
No, it's not that
in
easy.
2 years.
That's why when you did this, every time you said I can't talk, I would cancel a show because I can't do it for a solo anymore. Just can't.
Well, it's one of those things where you get so accustomed to it where I told Dominick today, I go, oh, I'm already missing the crutch that is having somebody do this with me, because if I, don't want to fill the airtime, he does, and vice versa. But you know what? I'm going to hold it down. I'm a big girl today. I put on my big girl pants, and we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where we're going to start today, everybody. If you've been under a rock or just haven't been looking at the media much today, Chris Rock, that's right, the comedian Chris Rock came out with a new stand-up special on Netflix, which I happened to catch last night.
Oh, you did watch it?
I did indeed watch it. And this was before...
I can't do those Netflix stand-up comedies because they get too fucking liberal.
Well, all right. And that's the same way the husband feels. Like if they immediately jump off with, oh, it's so good to be here, everybody. Thanks for surviving the pandemic. I'm glad we all vaccinated and masked, did our part. Like as soon as they come out and say that, the husband's gone. He's like, I'm done. I don't want to hear anymore. Like they just ruined it. Be funny. We all know what we lived through, but don't throw anything about that bullshit into the comedy, right? So he's out. So I give a little bit more leeway because I'm so committed to the laugh that I stick in there to be like, okay, let's see what else. What else do you have? Let's actually see the art that is comedy come out in other ways. And so I give them the benefit of the doubt. So with Chris, I knew going into it, there had to be a mention of the Will Smith encounter. There had to be, right? And so
do you want to refresh for anybody who lived under a rock during that time what happened?
Okay, sure.
Just saying.
So Chris Rock hosted the Oscars this past year. Yeah. And if I'm wrong with what award show it was, sue me, I don't care. I'm pretty sure it was the Oscars.
I can't talk that much, but I want to.
I want to kick you in the nuts.
It's okay. Since I know you're so excited about today.
I really am.
But Lucretia.
I want to showcase my real talent.
But Lucretia was on before us. And
yeah.
They were playing Freebird. And out of nowhere, Lucretia goes, oh, this is where Jenny left him. And she's doing coke and blow. And he's running and this and that. And I'm like, holy shit, here's a fucking woman who was able to instantly associate when a movie and music lined up and made that as a reference. And I thought you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm going to put my lip gloss on because that story means so little to me.
It meant so much to me.
I could give a flying F. Whatever that little diatribe was of yours.
It took a lot out of me.
Interjecting about Flybird.
Yeah, that too. Go ahead.
I just don't. Maybe if you could fall down, that might be good.
I've got a real thick yoga mat underneath me that I stand on.
Okay,
so
good.
I'll be fine.
So as I was saying, Chris Rock hosted the Oscars, and one of his jokes during his, opening act or one of the intermediate acts was something about Will Smith Off the top of my head, I don't recall exactly what he said, but from the crowd, Will Smith yells out, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth." And Chris Rock was like, "What? What do you, I can't hear you. What are you saying?" And then so Will Smith yells it again, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth." And then at one point, Will Smith gets up from his seat, goes up on stage, and slaps Chris Rock. Quick little recap. Chris Rock did not retaliate back. He did not start a full fist fight up on stage. He sort of just looked shocked that the whole thing happened.
Everybody thought, so many people thought it was fake and planned and shit.
Well, it was questionable, right? Because after you get slapped, you know, there's many things that could happen, especially between two males, that you would think, you know, one would either fight back or immediately two, you would come out in the press and start talking about the incident. But Chris Rock didn't. He just kind of hung back. He was quiet. We didn't hear anything about it. And then everyone was sort of watching the repercussions that Will Smith was going to have to tend to. And the Oscars, apparently there was talk about pulling his award from the night and also pulling his, I don't know, like SAG credibility or something.
And
right?
Not to mention the fact that we don't know what the fuck to believe anymore. What's real and whatnot. My generation, which you're a part of, we had Andy Kaufman, who had the fight with Jerry Lawler on David Letterman's show, which everybody thought was real, and then 2 decades later they said it was staged.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that was staged. They were friends. So it's like when stuff like this comes up, and there was another one too. I can't remember what it was. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren were in a shoving match outside of the Oscars, and it was staged to promote their video. So when you have something like this, I didn't think that the Will Smith thing was staged, but again, we don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, see, I didn't know about either of those stories you just shared, and knowing that, I would have absolutely thought this was staged. Mm-hmm. So cut to Chris Rock does his stand-up special last night called Selective Outrage is what he calls it. And I thought to myself as I started watching it, he can't come out of the gate and talk about the Will Smith thing. It will cheapen his whole, again, my opinion, it will cheapen his whole stand-up if he starts the show with the Will Smith stuff. You know, everyone knows it happened. Just do your stand-up and address it if you want, which he did at the end. Now, I today have seen several people come out and comment about Chris Rock's stand-up special, and I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed at the commentary. I'm disappointed at the opinions. I'm disappointed at what people are focused on because they have taken a subject matter that is personal to Will Smith and Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett. Personal, drama, absolute, utter nothingness. Yes, he was assaulted in public, but the reasons for it are for dramatic emphasis or for personal vendettas, whatever. Every single person on social media today jumped on the bandwagon, conservatives, liberals, all of them, black people especially, and they had an opinion about Chris Rock's take on the whole thing. And I looked at everybody's commentary on it and I thought, wow, society as a whole sucks. The way people are depicting this man's entire hour-long plus stand-up and literally shoving it into one segment of his entire show cheapens everything he did on stage.
So that means people were waiting that entire hour for like an hour, however long his stand. So they were waiting for him to say something just so they could respond, be outraged.
Yeah, as everybody was curious. I mean, as you would be curious, you would wonder, like, how is he going to address this? He's been so quiet. He's got to say something. You can't just completely white elephant it and hope people don't question you. I was so disappointed. I mean, one of the comments today came from a super liberal. We've talked about this person before. I don't even know if I have. I do. Hank Newsom. Oh. Hank Newsom, your go-to black victimhood, give me your money, we're saving the hood, grifter. He puts out today on Insta, he goes, some parts are good, but I see why Will Smith smacked the shit out of this dude.
Wow.
Do you really? Do you? Why?
So now he's condoning,
Tell me why.
Now he's condoning violence.
Tell me why, though. Like, what was it that he said that you think justified an assault in an atmosphere that is supposed to be quite civilized? Like, what? What is it that you don't like? And of course, in the comments, he doesn't say anything. That's his one and only post. And you're like, what is that?
You couldn't do that if it was a woman who got slapped.
Oh,
as a man,
wow.
you can't say, now I understand why so-and-so got slapped. It was a female. You can't say that.
Touche. A conservative talking head came out today and again focused on the one segment that I'm like, guys, there was a whole hour-long show that Chris came out and was very strategic on what he said. In fact, I had to turn to CNN of all places to get a breakdown. I wanted to see every angle of this thing. I wanted to see how every media outlet and conservative influencer and left influencer was looking at this. And CNN came out and gave a full synopsis of the full show. And I thought, go you, or to the writer at least, that CNN paid for this depiction of what the show was. So I would like to share what I think Chris did a really good job doing.
Sure.
And that was coming out, being comedic on topics that otherwise are uncomfortable to talk about. And he said why they're uncomfortable to talk about. When we look at race and words we're not supposed to use because they hurt people's feelings.
Ooh, dirty words.
Yeah.
Let's see 'em.
Chris goes, he starts the whole show. He goes, guys, hate to break it to you, but the only people who think words hurt are people who haven't been smacked in the face. Touche. That was a joke on top of a joke.
Yeah.
And I thought, yes, man, thank you. Yes. And that's just, I think, the society we live in where, everyone is so sensitive and they're almost looking for the opportunity to one up you on
100%.
Well, yeah. And he even gets into the details of that where he goes, look, the work environment must be such a tricky situation because if someone comes to work and they're talking about, I just went to a gay marriage. It was beautiful. I loved every second of it. You support gay marriage, right? And this is like a water cooler discussion. And if your coworker instantly is like, yeah, religiously, I don't really support that. Boom, you're out. You're done. You're canceled. You can't have that opinion. You are not allowed in this work environment. I don't feel safe here. You have completely showed your colors and we don't support you. The funny kind of example he gave about, words hurting. And this is where the selective outrage part comes in. He goes, check it out, guys. We're all guilty of it. Selective outrage. You feel comfortable playing a Michael Jackson song. You love Michael Jackson.
I do.
Legend.
The
right?
Quincy Jones years. Yeah.
Just absolutely idolize the man. Okay.
Don't stop till you get enough.
On the flip, you're not going to be playing R. Kelly stuff. R. Kelly? Are you kidding me? R. Kelly went to court over some things that were scandalous with kids. Yeah. But Michael Jackson, maybe we get him, get out of jail card free. Get the jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting that we can jump on our made in China by child slaves cell phones, right? The Apple iPhone, the Google phones, the Samsung phones,
right.
All these things. Slave labor by children. And we can have outrage over whatever. You pick a topic, whatever you want it to be. You jump on, you do your little social justice warrioring on your keypad, and no regard for how that phone was made, what it took to make it, who was mining for the minerals to make the battery. Like, oh no, we don't want to talk about that. Don't get into that.
No.
So, he's hitting some really culturally specific things that are going on right now.
What's his name? Did it 2 years ago. Ricky Gervais. Did the same shit. I mean, people don't give a shit about it.
No, and you could literally smack people in the face, no pun intended, with the realities of our how we live, our world, how everything functions. And you can show them the idiocy that we exist within. It's like, okay, what are you having for dinner? I mean, it's such a disregard. So when I look at Chris's whole stand-up as a whole, I mean, he went so far as to talk about Lululemon yoga pants. Okay?
Expensive.
Exactly. They're disgustingly expensive. So
right,
let's
you
talk
ladies,
about
your
it, right?
asses look great in them.
But that, right. And that's their marketing ploy. That's how they get you. $125 for like Lycra. Okay, I could go to Marshall's for $15. Are my legs going to look the same in them? Well, if you do some squats, probably.
Correct.
Okay. So Chris's whole take on this, he goes, listen, anyone who goes to Lululemon and buys those $100 yoga pants, which I know they're more. He goes, Lululemon out front of their store, or maybe inside on the windows, like as you walk in, so you could see their wokeness, their progressiveness, their all-inclusiveness, will say, Black Lives Matter, pro-choice, rainbow this, inclusive that, all the talking points. Everything you would want if you were following into the wokeness of, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. We're just going to put all the signs everywhere we can. So we tell the public, we're good. Come buy our shit. He says, listen, I'll tell you what. If Lululemon didn't plaster all the signs and their pants were $50, maybe $30, $20, would you still buy them? Would you enjoy buying them at that point? And he goes, and what if I told you that in order to pay $20 for Lululemon pants, they were maybe a little bit racist? So the joke goes, you put on the Lululemon $20 pants, but every time you take a step, the N-word comes out of your butt. And I thought, he's walking across the stage saying, and this, and that, and this, and that. And he goes, hey, it's the price you pay. Would we be willing to do this? And it's funny because it's real. I would rather have a company tell me nothing about their political stance. It's not why I buy the product. Buy the product because I like the product. If I don't like the product, I don't buy the product. I'm not buying the product because the company is coming out and saying, hey, we just gave money to LGBTQ. In fact, that's probably going to make me not want to buy your product.
It's bad marketing.
So while Hershey's recently came out, okay,
yes.
we didn't talk about this last week,
No.
but it's making the rounds, and it's one of those just really offensive marketing campaigns that you can't say you're offended by, because if you do, then you're the bigot, racist asshole who doesn't support the trans women. But as a female, biologically, I'm looking at this going, cool, we're just canceling females now that are born female.
Because isn't like Women's Month or something?
It's Women's History Month.
Okay, so it's Women's History Month. And,
yes.
Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, I'm on air.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, we'll go back to doing what you're doing.
It's my sister.
Hi, sister.
Hello.
Okay. All right. I'll call you later.
All right.
Bye.
Okay.
That's whatever. Wow, I'm surprised she actually calls me. It's Women's History Month, and they get a fucking tranny up on there to sit there and represent you guys. It's like the joke is just getting more and more and more like men are better at everything than women are, including being women.
Why are biological women allowing this?
I don't know. Any feminist is so stupid with this if they support this bullshit. And I honestly, to be honest, I don't know if feminists do support this stuff. I don't think we really hear too much from feminists, because you would hear, I would like to think, maybe that's it too. Did you ever see the movie PCU Was Jeremy?
Yeah, I did. I
they
don't
had-
recall
yeah,
any of it.
Feminists were like, I thought were supposed to be like militant and whatnot, but you know, the like aggressive in their behavior towards defending feminism. I can't see feminists defending men who just arbitrarily decide I'm going to be a woman, coming in and going, oh, here's my penis, but it doesn't matter because I'm just like you. I cannot see a true feminist supporting this shit at all.
But
fuck
what
her,
you do
she-
see is silence from the masses. Listen, when there was the pink hat wearing million-person parade in D.C. when Trump was elected, everyone fearing, that their rights were going to be taken away. And so they came together in the masses. I think that was when Madonna stood up at the podium and said she wants to burn the White House down with Trump inside.
Can we talk about that for a second? I've never seen, you get women and you get these communities of whatever minority X, Y, and Z you want to say that you are. I don't ever see anybody else saying X, Y, Z, our rights are being taken away. I don't ever see that. The gays can marry. Great. You want to do it. Be that fucking stupid. Go ahead. Women can vote. Women can do
He's
everything.
saying that because he doesn't support marriage, not because he's against gay marriage.
Oh, yeah. I don't give a shit. Fucking marry who we want. I really don't care. My point being is, it's like, how stupid are you if your existence, you're terrified that somebody's going to get elected in office? Let me put it this way. I'm not worried that a Democrat's going to get in office and he's going to go, all right, we're going to take away this straight white male's ability to fucking vote or get married or something like this. And I know then that's where the oppressed comes in and say, well, that's because you're a straight white male. So, I mean,
Sure.
it's so stupid with this shit. Oh, so-and-so's going to take away our rights. I can't believe that panic is still brought up. It's fucking dumb.
I didn't want to go back to the Chris Rock thing, but what you just said reminded me. He actually did have a segment talking about January 6th. And he actually did talk about everyone attacking the Capitol. And he said, what are straight white men so afraid of? Who's taking over that they have to break into a location where other straight white men are controlling the decisions? Who is it that they think is going to, take away their rights if they're going after people that are looking like that?
I would have turned it off then, because don't forget about Maxine Waters. Don't forget about the number 2s running the country. Don't forget about Pelosi. Who are the straight white men in that group? I would have turned it off. You guys stay away from that shit. Just do your fucking funny business and shit.
Yes. And this is where, as comedians, touch upon political issues, they do run that risk of turning people off to their comedy, right? Because they're trying to appease the left because they're in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Listen, he was given a Netflix special. They had to know what he was saying. They approved it, and he had to pepper in that liberal, that underlining progressive liberalism. Otherwise, he wouldn't have a show, right? So a part of me always wonders, yes, we know the entertainment industry is just beyond liberal. And if you don't subscribe to it, you aren't allowed to be in the group. And you do it for a paycheck, just like we saw so many people do the injection for a paycheck, right? So where everyone has their own checks and balances they have to take in. And with that, I went over my break. Do you want to hit it?
Went over my break?
Yeah.
Look at you.
The opinions
I like this.
I wear it well.
And guests on the show are exclusively just that, opinions. That means that they shouldn't be the cause of your state of being offended. Why does everybody get so butthurt?
Okay, let's go. Ready, go!
All right, everybody. If you haven't done it already, and we ask you this every day, do it today. Go into your email. Look for an email from me, Common Sense Ashley. It's going to be sitting in your junk box or your trash box. You know why? Because your search engines hate us. And what we're going to ask you to do is pull that out, put it in your inbox, and remind your email server every day you get that. Just jump over there, check it out. We send you really good articles. So if you're jumping into Fox or you're looking at the liberal MSNBC, stop.
No bueno.
I'm out. Don't do it anymore. We're doing the news now. So check us out Also, rantsofizzo.com for all your needs. If you miss a show, you can go to rantsofizzo.com, listen to the podcast, or watch the video live. We appreciate your support. And we're going to do the chat. Are you going to help? Can you help?
I'll get help, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just scrolling random. Brady's One Girl 5 says Dom needs to do an ASMR video.
Yeah.
Nice ASMR voice.
Jess says, sounds like Dom needs me to come take care of him. Ooh.
Steph Corvo Queen says, okay, wait. Dom sounds like that guy that was taking my information for a gyno appointment this morning.
Amy Janikowski says, cat fights are cool, especially in Oscar gowns.
Annie Stevens says, Chris Rock made a comment about Will's wife and her shaved head and referred to the G.I. Jane sequel. Thank you. That's what it was.
Lone Wolf says, I think it would have been funny if Chris knocked Will on his... Okay. You can't swear in the chat. I don't know why.
Greg Mann says, me either, Amy, you.
Andy Stevens says, this was a classic example of selective outrage.
Randall Flagg says, I never really found Chris Rock to be that funny.
Yeah, same. I agree with that. Richard Gibson, it was fucking hilarious.
Uh-oh, what was? I want to know.
The slap.
Linda says, Steph, that's awesome.
Tracy says, WTF.
Shy Boy in Iowa, welcome to the chat. Haven't seen you in a while. He says, good evening.
Tammy, still have not received an email. Please go to the rantsofizzo.com, fill out your email address for the newsletter, then check your spam folder for a message from Ashley. Can I just say for a second, if I can say?
Please.
I will try to say this. I'm actually impressed. I'm sitting here. I'm actually more of a viewer and an audience member of the show today. And it's so you know what? Let's glow. You got your glass? You gotta go this way. Ready? Let's clink. Ready? 1, 2, 3. No, you gotta go the other way. Other way. 1, 2, 3. Clink. Okay. We fucking rock. Because if I can't step up to the plate and do a show, you could do it. And if you can't do it, I can do it. How many other people like that do you know that do not need to rely on somebody else to wind up doing a full show?
Well, and here's the thing. We talk about this a lot, but I don't think people truly, truly, truly appreciate when you're in a partnership, a business partnership with someone, which is what Dominic and I have.
100%.
Things don't always go well in business relationships when you have a partner. And so far, I haven't killed you.
Every fucking business I've had that's gone to shit. 100%.
I mean, there are days when if I was in the same room with you, you might be a testicle short.
Well, think about this for a second. Here's my point: is if you lose your voice for 3 episodes, and I'm doing the show doesn't change. If I lose my voice and tomorrow it's not back by the show's not changing. If somebody who used to join us, and I'll just use as an example, if it was me and that person or you and that person, and then that was it, would the show change if that person had to carry it?
Could very much be changed.
A different show. It would be a different show. That's my point is I'm listening to this as you're going on, and it's not like you didn't jump back into the old, like, just straight-laced news kind of reporting ways that you did. The show doesn't change if you have to go solo. That's what I fucking love about this shit.
Well, too, because here's the thing. When you talk straight politics, I could have jumped on, and I will talk about it a little bit. That is just such a grind. We've said this before. Like, you need a little bit of everything.
No, but I think it's the delivery. I think you've loosened up a lot.
Could be that, too.
I think it is. I think it's fucking great.
Thank you for that.
Well, your parents hate it, but it's okay.
Oh, everyone hates it. Everyone who listened to my solo show hates it. And they remind me.
Really?
They often.
Do you ever get, like, private messages going, why the fuck did you partner with that guy?
No. This will be through conversations with people. They'll be like, I really miss what you used to do. I go, I know, but I do this now.
Tell them to help out and call in the show then at least.
Truly.
You used to get a ton of callers.
Yeah. Well, whatever. All right. Okay. So I don't exactly remember what I was saying before the break.
I don't know. All I'm saying is I was just pretty fucking impressed knowing that it's like I don't have to cringe or pull teeth. We got fucking blessed with a co-host and knows what the fuck she's doing.
Cheers.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, we talked about Chris Rock. Hershey's.
Oh,
right?
you sent
That's where we left
Hershey's,
off.
and then you sent me some stuff you want me to play today.
That's right. But so let me just wrap a bow on the Hershey thing.
Yeah.
So while the pink hats were in outrage, right, just so scared and fear mongering that Trump was going to take away their rights. Funny, it happened during Biden's reign, right?
Yeah.
You know.
I got I'll play a Biden audio clip today. I'm sure you've heard.
Right. So I just, when you look at different athletes, trans women athletes stepping into biological female sports, and then they're winning the trophies and they're standing on the number one podium and they're taking that opportunity away from biological women. When are enough biological women going to stand up and say, I'm sorry?
Hey, if you close your eyes and I talk, don't I sound like Brittany Griner?
Ew.
I don't know. I was over in Russia.
You kind of do, though.
I was in a Russian cell.
Because that
big, giant
woman
guys,
is a dude.
Big black cocks, I know.
A straight dude. So I look at now a company taking Women's History Month and completely marketing it to trans women. They are not women.
I have a problem with the pronoun things too. And I see the play on words, but I have to wonder at what point do you alienate the rest of your audience? If you have 50-50 and 50% of the population is men and, they're going to be like, oh, here comes Hershey's. And then, oh, wait, it's a perfect time for them to say her, she. That's how they're dividing up their pronouns. Maybe 25% of those or 50% of those men out of the 50% are going to go, we support this. And then, so you lose 25% of your audience or whatever, right? You're whatever. I don't know why. Stay the fuck out of politics.
You're missing more than 50% of your audience. You now offended biological women. You've now offended biological men who have, mothers, daughters, wives. You've just completely kicked biological female to the gutter. And you're like, no, we want this unicorn thing to represent our company and also represent what biological women are. I watched this, I don't even know what it was, like this TikTok thing yesterday. I'm not on TikTok. I don't support TikTok. I will never download TikTok, but somebody on Instagram posted it.
Oh, no, TikTok, you need to be on TikTok. If you ever feel guilty about, or if you ever feel bad about your life, go on TikTok.
I won't.
I believe your life
you.
is fucking amazing.
Yeah, a bunch of degenerates. I won't ever do it. There was this multicolored, haired, biological female sitting in a car ranting on about how she doesn't identify as a female. And I don't know what she identifies as. I don't even all the different genders. I can't even keep track of all of the different sexualities and genders. Okay. It's like a whole language. She's going on. And this was the most offensive thing I've ever heard anybody say to defend trans people. This girl says trans women are more female than biological women because they have made the choice to figure out who they are and to go through all of the changes one needs to go through to present themselves as a female, whereas biological females are just born that way. Boring. They don't have to figure themselves out. They just are just boring, normal, gender-conforming females. Trans women deserve all the attention of being a woman, and they're actually more women than biological. It's like,
is that like the same logic of you take somebody who's like 30 years old and they've had like a birth defect on their face for their whole life that they have to learn to live with. They just were born that way and they've got this deformity versus some guy who's 30 and says, I think I want to be defective. So he purposely sets his face on fire to get like 3rd-degree burns and then is massively deformed. He goes, I need to be taken more seriously because I willingly chose this deformity. Is that how fucked up these people are?
That's a real mental illness. Like,
I don't
honestly.
know who just said, I don't know. Oh, I did. I watched, I didn't watch it. You went to CPAC last year.
Right.
And I watched Michael Knowles at CPAC literally condemn the trans movement. And of course, I think it was Rolling Stone magazine or something said he's calling for like, or somebody said, it wasn't Rolling Stone. I'll take that back. It was a liberal who tweeted out, here's Michael Knowles calling for genocide. No.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. It's not what it is. No, and you know what? I think that more people need to get that. I think it's time that we actually condemn the trans movement. The trans movement offers absolutely, until, I've said this before, until you remove all these, it's only getting worse with these kids and these fucking drag shows. So until that's 100% condemned, I think that the trans movement has absolutely no place in society whatsoever. How about this? Take that shit to the fucking Middle East. Go see how it does with the Muslims.
You'll get thrown off a building.
Go ahead and see how that does. And then if you can make it work there, we'll accept it here.
So, okay, that's a great segue because coming up right now, I do want to address, I hate giving her attention, but she just keeps making these videos that just get under my skin. Like sometimes she's right on mark, not often, but sometimes with the whole independent woman, I don't need a baby to be a woman. Like I can support that. Chelsea Handler did a video today with her niece out on the privileged snow slopes at Whistler, Canada, doing a video. If you want to queue up what I sent you.
Let me know when. We're ready to go.
Yeah, play that audio.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Charlie. Today we're here to talk about all the books that are being banned in our schools and libraries.
Because recently in Florida, because of course it's Florida, public schools and libraries are being forced to purge their bookshelves of any literature that contains even a subtle hint of LGBTQ characters or romances. Teachers are being forced to hide these books, or they can face felony charges from the state.
Teachers already have it rough enough.
So Florida, there are plenty of other things to purge in your state.
Alligators for one.
Adults who go to Disney World by themselves.
Pythons.
Oh God, don't even get me started. Did you see that Instagram video the other day? There was a python coming down from a trapdoor and they were trying to get it down. They were trying to get it down and then they opened the trapdoor and then there were 3 other pythons. That was probably in Florida too.
Anyway, we need to create a school environment that's inclusive and ready to welcome kids with open arms.
And what'll be banned next? Books showing women having a good time? Let's show our support and solidarity to our teachers who have to continue to put up with your shitty kids, and now a government who wants to put them in jail for having kids read Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And if Willy Wonka isn't an iconic gay character, I don't know who is.
Florida, get your together.
Bam. Hi, I'm Chelsea.
The only problem I have is there's again, she's hard not to support with stuff until she goes with the concept, the opening. She says they're banning any books with any gay subtle characters. It's like, no, that's not what they're banning.
Correct.
That's the problem I have.
That's the talking point. That's the liberal talking point. They all have jumped on to the don't say gay legislation that is nothing to do with don't say gay. Now, so she comes out, has this video, says we're banning books. Well, Chelsea, you don't have a child, nor do I. But before I come out and say something, she does not.
Okay.
No. But you can still research. You can still do your homework. You can still speak with an educated understanding of what actually is going on in a location, of which she doesn't do. So basically, without having a child in the Florida school district, and she's speaking from hearsay, I will now have you play the next clip of a father who actually has a son, an 11-year-old and a high schooler, in a school district where there are books that he is questioning and does not feel are appropriate for the students. This is him speaking at a school board.
I'm that kid's father.
Okay, good. I was asking for you.
Yeah, I'll take another 3 minutes. So that's my son.
Okay.
11 years old, and went to his library and found that by the entry door of our library. This is the smut that he is finding, all right? I don't care whether it's gay, straight, bisexual, whatever the terms are for all this stuff. Doesn't need to be at our school. Doesn't need to be at my 11-year-old's library. And then as far as genderqueer, I've got a son in the high school as well. And this is bullshit. I'm that kid's father.
I wish there was more on that.
Oh, there was. Why didn't it play more?
That's all it was.
Because there was a whole point as to like what was in the book.
I'm going to go open up. Let's just reset. Let's see if it plays again.
I'm that kid's father.
Okay.
Hello.
I might just have to tell you what he said.
It's worth
that kid's father.
Okay, good. I was asking for you.
Yeah, I'll take.
As we're going over it, he's got that lumberjack look going on.
Yeah, he's got a black and red clad, tall, big guy, white man.
Of our library. This is the smut that he's finding.
You hardly use hear the word smut used anymore. I'm very proud of him.
Right.
Bisexual, whatever the terms are for all this stuff, doesn't need to be at our school. Doesn't need to be at my 11-year-old's library. And then as far as genderqueer, I've got a son in the high school as well. And this is bullshit. We know it, all right? We do not need to be having literature that's showing boys how to suck dick. All right.
There it is.
This is, I'm very, very frustrated about it. Okay. And you may think that schools know the best for our children. You know who know the best for our children? The parents.
I don't understand. I don't get it. Sex, like when I went to Catholic grammar school and it was 8th grade and the boys and the girls got separated because I went to a co-ed school and the boys and the girls got separated one day and we went into, the gymnasium, locker room, and it was just how to examine your testicles for the cancer, right? Like that's it. That's all it was, and we were explained to that, and our parents knew it because we all had to sign permission slips to attend it for that. So permission slip went home. Parents reviewed it. It was that was it. I had a story. I got a 15-year-old niece who. Like I said, I'm uncomfortable about the fact she's talking about her boyfriend. And I'm like, no, I think I yelled at her the other day. I said, shit, you're too free with your speaking. And she's not liberal and she's not conservative. She's just got that right amount of balance. But I can't imagine kids who are allowed to read that shit. I mean, we actively searched for shit. I'll tell you how actively. We used to sit there, and it was the 8th graders who did it by the time I got to 6th grade. And you had the class dictionary, and everybody would go in and they would open up the Webster's dictionary for the word sexton, SEXTON, and it was like a device for like nautical ships. And I just remember it was circled, and like all of us stupid little like juvenile boys are laughing because we made it from 6th grade. Now we're with the junior high kids, and you get to see, and the 8th graders are circling the word. That was like
that's the innocence of trying to figure it all out, right? Could you imagine going to your library, which I remember in grade school as an 11-year-old, you walked into your library, there was the Barrington Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There was, I'm trying to think of all the other books at that time that, were displayed on the shelves as your grades appropriate reading level. I could no more think I would walk into that library and at the entrance would be an advertisement of a book that's depicting what you do with another 11-year-old sexually. So when Chelsea stands up with her niece, who I think is maybe freshman year college, and they're saying, teachers have it rough. Florida, get it together. You're banning books that are expressive about the LGBTQ community. Be more inclusive. What are you actually saying? Are you saying that you want grade schoolers, everyone from 5 years old up to 12? You think that having a book that depicts oral sex appropriate? And I know that around that age of 12, at least it was when I was 12, you do know your friends that are being a little bit more curious and they're starting to have relations with each other, which seems really young, but
Yeah.
but you did.
Yeah.
You had people kissing in the way back of the schoolyard. Like that was happening. But Moore had a teacher who was designated to teach about sex education, talking about anything beyond the mechanics of what happens when a male and a female create a baby.
That's the difference.
It was very technical.
Mechanic. That's
the mechanics of
that's it.
Birds and the bees.
That's it. That's right there. Because everything else is confusing. It's messing people up. It's inappropriate. That's where the porn line crosses, because now all of a sudden you're going away from mechanics and you're going into this massive emotionalism.
Well, here's the thing. So I remember the banana. I remember the condom.
Yeah,
I remember being showed how to put the condom on the banana, but I wasn't shown the dildo and how to pleasure yourself.
No.
Okay, so that's where it's transitioned. And then the books talking about how, in fact, another kid could do things to you.
Oh.
So I just, it's like church and state, the separation of like,
I don't get why any
mechanics.
parents. Well, for the most part, I would think that a majority of people who are on the school board, I would think a lot of them are parents, right?
It would make sense if they were.
Yeah, especially if you're going to teach. I would be sus of, I'm not saying in today's day and age, of any male who is a teacher and does not have kids himself.
I mean,
I would. I don't know.
I mean, you might have 25-year-olds that aren't going to have kids yet.
Yeah, well, I'm talking like my
that
age.
are men.
My age. I don't know, unless he's in high school teach. I don't know. I can't qualify my argument that well right now.
Yeah, because what if you wanted to be a teacher? You'd think that was weird?
It depends on the age I'm teaching. Yeah, if all of a sudden I want to be a kindergarten teacher, 100%. Like here, in my church group or my church.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be appropriate for me to volunteer to during church service, like if I go to the 9 a.m. service? Do you think it would be appropriate for me to stick around for the 10:45 service and go downstairs and help with the kids groups?
I mean, you're making it sound really weird.
Yeah,
but if someone came up to you and like, "Hey, Dom, we're shorthanded. We know you just watched the service and you want to go home. We need your help in the nursery. Could you stick around and help out a little bit?"
If there was like no one else there, yeah. If I actively asked to do it, would you be comfortable? Yeah. If it was, yeah, I would. I'd be like, no fucking way. I don't know where the hell we're going with this. I don't know why any teachers. I don't know why this is still a thing. I don't know why these school board teachers are not like, yeah, this book is talking about oral sex and it's graphic about it and there's drawings. Why are we allowing this?
Yeah. So take that thought, transition it over to everything we've been seeing with parents taking their young children to drag shows. Okay.
Again, yeah.
We've talked about this before. And I've said, listen, you can protest outside those businesses. You can think it's disgusting. You can say, I don't want to participate. I would never take my child there. But there are parents that are actively taking their children to these shows. And, my thoughts are, you can't save everybody. Okay? You can't save everybody. Standing outside protesting, is it going to change the people that are walking inside? No, it's not going to change anyone who is actively showing up to this location to be entertained by these drag queens, to have their children there, to be exposed to whatever these drag queens are wearing or doing or suggesting.
They need to be arrested then. The drag queens need to be arrested.
So
if I masturbated in front of a nursery, like a daycare center, would I be arrested?
Yeah, but they're not doing that. That's how they can get away with this.
No, well, all right. If I stand in front of a daycare center, fully clothed, and I am...
Shake your ass?
No, not shaking my ass. And I am full-blown Michael Jackson grabbing my crotch over and over and over again, could I be arrested?
Yes.
So why are these drag queens not?
So, well, everybody has been posting videos of, all of the drag shows popping up everywhere. The one that hit me most recently, I saw, was a drag show But at one point, a young 5 years old girl is in a cute little jean skirt, some type of blouse, sweater thing. I don't know. And she's got her little like cowboy boots on or something. I don't like boots. Okay. She is now dancing and she's mimicking what she watched the drag dancers do.
Yeah.
So she's moving her hips and it's innocent at this point because she doesn't know what she's doing.
It's not even remotely
She's just
fucking innocent.
mirroring. She's mirroring what she's seeing, right? Part that was gross is now you have these adults that are watching this 5-year-old mimic what the drag queen was doing and shaking dollar bills at her.
I have seen in Illinois, DCFS fucking come to people's homes and try to remove kids out of their homes and utilize the police for less than that shit.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Every single parent who is involved in that place. Don't forget, you had the FBI spend how many hours tracking down people who were over at January 6th for shit just to see what they were doing. But you should, if the FBI ever wants redemption, you fucking dead asses should wind up investigating every one of these parents who bring their kids to this shit show.
Well, isn't it ironic too? I didn't really think about this earlier, but it was just recently exposed that some Democrat politician who was really chummy with some guy during his campaign. I'm so not even going to know the details of this. And this person was just found guilty of assaulting numerous boys.
Yeah, wasn't it Pete Buttigieg? So it was
see?
somebody who was associated with Pete Buttigieg. I saw a.
Is that who it was?
I saw a news clip it going around. It's an associated Pete Buttigieg. Again, I don't care who you marry. I don't care who you identify as. I don't care who you do any of this stuff. As an adult, I just you fucking it's so evil because you are forcing your shit on children for your sexual gratification. It's manipulation. It's pure grooming. It's pure evil. And your sole purpose for it's like this Jeffrey Marsh on TikTok, 100% needs to be condemned because he is a sexual predator. It's just I'm fucking ridiculous.
So I quickly looked up this man so thank you for reminding that it was an association with Pete.
Okay.
This man is a mayor in Maryland.
Why? Well, how close is Maryland to Washington, D.C.?
Mm-hmm. Patrick Wohan?
If that's not ironic.
I know. The Maryland mayor busted on charges of possessing child pornography Thursday has had a long-time mentor-mentee relationship with President Biden's embattled transportation secretary.
Yeah.
Former College Park mayor, Wohan, 47 years old. Oh, man. What?
It's an addiction, and you're never gonna cure it. It sucks. I feel bad for these people. At the same point in time too, it's fucking an incurable fucking problem that there's only one way to make it go away.
You know, I'm not trying to be accusatory, but I'm looking at the man's picture and I'm looking at Pete and I'm like,
they've sucked each other's cocks.
Pete's got some closets.
Yeah,
he's got some skeletons in his closet too.
They've sucked some dicks, probably each other's. All right, well, good job.
That's it.
Good job. I can't believe I'm talking about me. Good job for standing up the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
Take us home, Common Sense.
You think you're gonna have your voice tomorrow?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. That was your Monday edition. Rantsofizzo.com. Again, if you want to share the show, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, share it out there. Check your email. Tomorrow, we're coming back. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, right here on Spreely.tv. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
You tore your dress. What a mess! I confess. I was never there, Judge. Donka shame, darling, donka shame.